My new general manager, Marcus Thorne, pushed me so hard I almost fell into a tray of dirty glasses, then screamed at me in front of 200 guests, calling me worthless help. No one knew the woman they mocked, dressed in a borrowed uniform, was the true owner of the entire luxury hotel where they were celebrating. Phones were recording. Whispers spread fast. Something shifted in my eyes as I walked out, without a word, and the fallout started before they even realized I'd moved. Hey everyone! Before we dive into this captivating story, please take a couple of seconds to like and subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more interesting stories. Your support truly means the world to me, and it's what allows me to share even more incredible stories with you. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and what time it is for you right now. And don't forget to share your thoughts on this story. I'd really love to hear your opinion. Alright, grab a cup of coffee, and let's begin. You know that night where everything looked polished, but something ugly hid under the shine? That was the night Isabella Vance walked into the Grandview Hotel ballroom. She wore a simple black dress, neat ponytail, sensible flats, nothing flashy. The kind of look busy people ignored because it did not scream for attention. She liked it that way. Let them guess, yo. Crystal chandeliers hung over white tablecloths. A jazz trio played something soft that no one really listened to. Expensive perfume mixed with the smell of gourmet food and fine wine. Phones were out. Nobody wanted to miss proof they had been in the room. On every screen, one logo kept spinning. The Thorne Group. Their big charity gala, celebrating a new partnership, was all anyone talked about. The staff whispered about it in the hallway. The guests bragged like they owned it. Isabella moved through the crowd slowly, hands in her pockets, eyes scanning faces. Security had already stopped her once at the service entrance. The guard had looked her up and down and asked, "Are you with catering, ma'am?" Isabella had smiled and shown her personal invitation card, emblazoned with the hotel's crest. The guard had stepped aside, embarrassed but still. Inside, the same energy followed her. Two women in sequin gowns gave her a glance, then moved their champagne flutes to the other arm like she might bump into them. A man in a tux cut in front of her at the bar and said, "Staff first, right?" with a little laugh. Isabella simply shifted to the side and ordered water. No need to explain herself. If tonight went the way she planned, explanations would not be necessary. At the far end of the room, cameras turned toward the stage as the host tapped the mic. His voice echoed over the low chatter. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thorne Group Gala." Heads turned, applause rose like a practiced reflex. Isabella stayed near a column, close enough to see, far enough to be invisible. The host smiled too wide. "Tonight, we celebrate a historic partnership. A contract that will bring a new era of luxury to the city, the market, maybe the world." You could feel the greed in the room grow thicker. Then she appeared. Tiffany Stone, the general manager's fiancée, glided onto the stage in a shimmering gold dress that caught every bit of light. She waved like royalty, lips painted in a perfect red line. Beside her stood Marcus Thorne, the general manager, the face of the hotel tonight, tailored suit pressed sharp. Everyone watched them. Everyone except the woman who owned the company that actually owned this hotel, waiting to sign that deal. Isabella. Whispers started before Isabella even moved. People clocked her from the corners of their eyes, nudging each other like she had wandered in through the service door. A server passed with a tray of wine, and one guest leaned toward her friend. "I swear that woman keeps showing up where she should not. Maybe she is staff trying to blend in." The friend laughed under her breath. "Cute uniform, though." Isabella ignored it. She eased through the crowd, hands relaxed, steps measured. The thick carpet felt soft under her shoes, thick enough to swallow the noise. She watched the stage from a distance, eyes steady, jaw set. Tiffany spotted her first. Her smirk formed slow, like she recognized a target she had been waiting for. She whispered something to Marcus, and his brows dropped. Marcus stepped off the stage with fake charm and walked straight toward Isabella. His smile looked tight. "Ma'am, are you supposed to be standing here?" He reached out and tapped Isabella's sleeve like he expected her to jump. Isabella kept her voice soft. "I am fine here. Just observing." Marcus chuckled. "Observing, right?" He snapped his fingers at a server. "Get her a towel or something." Looks like she is sweating through that budget outfit. A few guests looked over, trying not to stare. One man whispered loud enough, "Who let her into VIP?" Another murmured, "The staff entrance is on the other side." Tiffany approached next, heels clicking in a clean rhythm. She picked up a glass of red wine from a passing tray, without even looking at the server. She eyed Isabella up and down. "You know, sweetie, if you needed work tonight, you could have signed up. Pretending to be a guest is not the move." Isabella said nothing. Her calm unsettled them more. Tiffany stepped closer, raising the wine slowly. "Go take this to table 3. They are waiting." She pushed it toward Isabella's chest. When Isabella did not grab it, her smile faded. "Seriously? Do your job." Marcus grabbed the glass from Tiffany's hand. "Allow me." He lifted it high, eyes on the crowd. One less confused worker ruining the vibe. Then he tilted the glass forward, emptying the wine onto Isabella's simple black dress. The splash hit warm and sharp. A few drops slid down Isabella's collar. Gasps cut through the room. Someone whispered, "Damn, he really did that." Another person raised their phone recording. Tiffany laughed under her breath. Maybe now she knows where she stands. Isabella wiped her jaw with 2 fingers. Slow, controlled. She adjusted her sleeve, straightened her posture, and walked toward the service exit without a single word. A server whispered as she passed. That woman walked out like she owned the place. Nobody believed it. Yet the hallway outside the ballroom felt cooler, almost silent after the burst of noise she left behind. Isabella moved with steady steps, fingertips brushing the edge of her jacket where the wine clung in a dark stain. She exhaled once, quiet and controlled, then reached into her pocket and pulled out her phone. The screen lit her face with a soft glow. She tapped one number. A voice answered fast. "Ready for instructions, ma'am." Isabella kept her voice low. "Pull the offer. Lock every channel. Announce it now. Shut down all services for Thorn Group properties." Understood. She ended the call without emotion. A couple waited near the elevator, watching her like they recognized her from somewhere they could not place. The woman murmured, "That's the lady they drenched." She didn't even react. The man shook his head slowly. Rich folks never expect quiet ones to bite back. Isabella pressed the elevator button and gave them a simple nod. Nothing more. While she descended, she loosened her tie slightly. The faint smell of wine lingered in the fabric. The elevator ride hummed with soft music, the kind that faded into the walls. Isabella's reflection stared back at her, steady eyes, calm jaw. She checked a second message. The legal team already confirmed action. Everything was moving. When the doors opened, the lobby buzzed with guests stepping out for calls, drinks, or a slice of fresh gossip. Someone recognized the wine stain and whispered, "That's her." She overheard another voice near the bar. "I swear something is off. You don't walk like that unless you're somebody." Isabella moved past them without slowing down. Outside, the night air carried a bit of cold, enough to sharpen her thoughts. A valet rushed forward, but Isabella lifted a hand lightly. "Walking is fine." The valet stepped back, unsure. As Isabella crossed the driveway, lights from the ballroom spilled across the pavement. Music inside swelled, then cut suddenly. People turned toward the glass windows, confused. A man near the entrance muttered, "Why'd everything stop? Maybe trouble with the deal." His date shrugged, but her eyes stayed fixed on the room. Isabella reached the corner of the lot. Her phone vibrated again. A message popped up. Directive delivered. All properties affected. Thorn Group access revoked. She locked the screen and slipped the phone back into her pocket. Behind her, the hotel's glass doors opened sharply. Voices rose in shock. Chairs scraped. A sudden wave of commotion hit the lobby. Guests flooded toward the entrance, trying to understand what went wrong. Isabella didn't turn around. She stepped into the streetlight, shoulders relaxed, expression unreadable, moving with the same quiet certainty she carried all night. While the city hummed around her, the first tremor of the fallout began inside the ballroom she had just left. She kept walking. The night moved with her. Morning arrived with a vengeance for Marcus and Tiffany. Headlines flooded every screen before sunrise. Thorn Group properties seized overnight. Luxury hotel blackout at gala. Clips of the wine splash looped nonstop on social media. Comments dragged them without mercy. Investors bailed. Partners vanished. Board members resigned overnight. The Thorn Group's value dropped so fast it looked unreal. Tiffany barely slept. She sat on the edge of the bed in their penthouse, hands shaking, mascara smudged, phone buzzing nonstop with frantic calls. Marcus paced the room, hair messy, shirt wrinkled, trying to find a lawyer who would even answer his calls. Every call he made ended in the same blunt tone. "We're out. Don't call again." By noon, Tiffany told him, "We have to talk to her. If we don't, everything's gone." Marcus hesitated, then nodded weakly. They drove to Isabella's quiet townhouse, the complete opposite of their chaotic morning. When Isabella opened the door, she studied them with calm eyes, like none of the storm touched her. Tiffany spoke first, her voice broke. "We were wrong. We treated you like nothing. Please let us fix this." Marcus added, shaky, "We lost everything. Just give us a chance to talk." Isabella stepped aside, but didn't invite them in. She kept her tone soft but firm. "You didn't lose everything today. You lost it the second you decided people's worth came from your comfort." They stayed silent. She continued, "You built a world where you believed disrespect had no cost. Now you're seeing the bill." Tiffany wiped her face, whispering, "We didn't know who you were." Isabella answered, "That's the problem. You didn't care who I was. And that's why you don't get a second chance." Marcus swallowed hard. "Is there anything we can do?" Isabella shook her head once. "The deal is gone. The trust is gone. And my door is closed." She stepped back and ended it with a quiet final line. "Walk carefully. The world is smaller than you think." They left with nothing. Her life moved forward. Their legacy didn't. 6 months later, the Thorn Group was dissolved. Marcus was working as a bellhop at a roadside motel. Tiffany, with her reputation ruined, couldn't find a modeling job and ended up selling cheap cosmetics online. Isabella, meanwhile, revitalized the Grandview Hotel, making it a hub for local artists and giving fair wages to all staff. She personally oversaw the hiring of new managers, ensuring kindness and respect were paramount. The hotel thrived, known not just for its luxury, but for its heart. If you want more stories where power flips in a single moment and justice lands clean, hit follow and stay locked.